Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Noah Unleashed. If you're new here, hi, I'm Melball, and I like Japanese wrestling. And Noah Unleashed is a weekly news and review show that I do about pro wrestling. Noah, to keep you guys all up in the know about what's happening over there. If you're not new here, welcome back to the glorious chaos that is your Melball. It has been a very glorious chaos weekend for me. I'm a little late getting this video out here because I have been on vacation in Canmore and also at a family reunion. I'm fresh faced today because I'm happy the camera doesn't show how red my face is in comparison to my shirt. I got pretty burnt. My SPF failed me over the weekend, so I'm just letting my skin breathe a little bit. But I have a great show to talk to you about today. It is a Star Navigation show that happened on August 16th, which featured a main event match for the GHC Heavyweight Championship. Kenta defending against Naomichi Marufuji, and much, much more. We had a lot more to unpackage on this. I'm going to do my best to get through it as quickly as possible while still giving you guys some great action. But before I get into it, I need you guys to like the video, subscribe to OLE, and turn on notifications so you can be alerted every time we drop a new video. So without further ado, let's get into it. Again, this is the Star Navigation show from August 16th. To start off the show, we saw Kaito Kiyomiya and Harutoki go into the ring, where Harutoki officially announces that he has officially signed with Pro Wrestling Noah. He's officially a member of the locker room. We always considered him one, but it will be very good to know that we will be able to hear his music regularly going forward. So this makes me so happy. Congratulations to Harutoki finally joining the ranks, fully all rebellion, and now he gets to fight his partner Kaito later in the night. So we're going to get into match number one, and this opening match was an 8-man tag team match that featured New Japan star Hiromu Takahashi teaming with Atsushi Kotoge, AMAKUSA, and Junta Miyawaki to take on the team of Eita, Alejandro, Kai Fujimura, and Daiki Odashima. So immediately at the beginning here, Odashima right into Takahashi's face. Takahashi was kind of like a little taken aback by it, but like that's our Odashima, always ready and raring to go. So he drop kicks, Odashima drop kicks Takahashi into a Mosca before Mosca can even kind of get out onto the apron there. And then they launch into a bit of a chop off with Odashima coming out on top, hitting a Rana and drop kick to Takahashi. So, Odashima does go for a drop kick at one point. Takahashi avoids so that Odashima's backflips, which, hey, that's what you get teaming up with Tetsuya Endo. However, when he tries again for the drop kick, when he lands into a cloverleaf by Takahashi, but he is able to make it to the ropes. Alejandro Fujimura coming in with their signature run into the corner with the tabletop back elbow, then the stereo cartwheels and thrust kicks to Takahashi. At this point, Kotoge coming in for the save, but then giving Hiromu shit, being like, come on, dude. You're the example here. You wanted a challenge. You kind of getting your butt kicked. This kind of set up for some odd dynamic with the team going forward. There's one point where Takahashi is tagging out, and when he tags out to a Mosca, he sneakily shoots in a little back elbow to Kotoge there. So at one point, Kotoge gets in, yelling at Hiromu again, and then getting the All Rebellion brothers, Alejandro and Fujimura, in his little choke on the ropes there. Odashima hitting his standing twisting drop kick, followed by that plancha to Takahashi on the outside. The finish here comes with Miyawaki hitting the ropes and eating a very stiff Ultimo Uno, which is that thrust kick that Eita has, pinning Miyawaki. We thought he got knocked out for a little bit on commentary there. Big win big win for Eita there, gaining the ire of Takahashi. Takahashi kind of, he's kind of got a target on his back coming into Noah, and Noah juniors are kind of looking at this as an opportunity, and as well they should. Hiromu needs to be kind of looking over his shoulder. He needs that special eye jacket that he has with all the little things on there. Odashima though, holy heckin' crap, after that chomp battle, his chest matched his trunks. So red. But yeah, stare down between Eita and Takahashi post-match. Yeah, I would love to see that. Absolutely. I would also love to see Eita pop up in the Best of the Super Juniors, similar to how Hayata did a while back in the past. Yeah, I'd like to see more crossover with this because this was just a phenomenal way to open the show. The crowd was absolutely electric, and it got them even more excited for the next announcement, which wasn't the next match, but was the announcement of the N1 Victory Series. We got to see all of the participants in the A block and the B block. We're going to quickly go through them here. So in the A block, we have the Black Sun. Okay, before I get into this, everyone kind of has a little like nickname before them, which I love. I love this. Some of them are in Japanese though, and when I translated them on Google, I don't know if Google was just being mean or what, because we'll talk about it at the end there. So again, A block here we have the Black Sun Kenta, we have Mad Prince Kaito Kiyomiya, we have Jonitsu Baosho Manabu Soya, we have Ulka Sasaki, we have Kazuyuki Fujita, we have the Elegant Avenger Tetsuya Endo, we have the chairman, Masa Kitamiya, and the King of Beasts, Daga. Now that is a solid A block, you guys. I have not decided my picks yet because, like, just looking at A block, who do you pick in that? A lot of people in that A block having a really, really good year, and with like a couple new people coming in, I don't know. I'm gonna have to think a little bit more on this. Bippity boppity boop the numbers together. So from here we're gonna move to Block B. Block B, we got the Aztec giant Galeno. We have the genius of the arc, Naomichi Marufuji. We have apparently, according to Google, Mr. Annoying, Kenoh. I feel like that's not right. I feel like that would probably be something else. We have Never Back Down, Daiki Inaba. We have Sublime Every Time, Jack Morris. We have Harutoki. We have the killer, Ricky Knight Jr. And we have the real rebel, Ozawa. And again, I have not made a pick for either of these blocks because these blocks are very stacked. I'm going to have to like really think about it, kind of come up with what my decision is. Do you guys want a video kind of covering all of the entrants here, maybe a little bit of their background, and maybe coming out with a prediction? And let me know in the comments down below, and I'll try to get that out before the start of the tournament, which I believe I didn't write it down. I think it's the 8th of September, but I will have the poster appear over here. We also have the first night of all of the, or the first night of the N1 matches, which I'll throw up right here real quick. And if you guys want that video, I will go into a little bit more detail about the first night. So from here, we're going to go into match number 2, which is a 6-man tag team match featuring the team that, until they come up with a name, I'm just calling Team Melball because I love this team. Ulka Sasaki, Tetsuya Endo, and Hayata taking on the team of Kenoh, Shuhei Taniguchi, and Black Mensore. So Mensore coming in to help Taniguchi at one point, coming in the wrong way. I guess there was a communication error about what they wanted to do. Taniguchi kind of giving him shit afterwards, but Hayata is able to capitalize on the little confusion there, kicking Taniguchi in the back and knocking Mensore out of the ring. A lot of this match was just Kenoh trying to avoid involving anybody other than Kenoh, which, given the outcome, totally fair. Kenoh and Sasaki was a lot of fun, though, with former partners, knowing each other so well. Going in there with kicks and strikes and submissions was just a very fun technical part of this match. Lots of ankle locks, lots of kicks. Endo coming in and dodging the Zaw, kind of bob and weaving, taking the Jack O'Connor route in there, kind of moving around a lot, but falling for the obvious distraction that Mensore just kind of points at, and then getting his toe stomped. Mensore then tries to follow up with the rope walk, but Endo is able to knock him off onto his Mensores, and it was always amusing. Handspring kick and exploder from Enzo, but Kenoh is able to break up the count with a double stomp. Taniguchi convincing Kenoh to let him body slam him onto Tetsuya Endo, not giving Mensore the same grace of a choice, just grabbing him and tossing him. Endo, however, putting the knees up and yeah, kind of damaging Mensore in that. So going into the finish here, you guys, Mensore attempting the Zaw strike on Endo, but Endo redirects it to Taniguchi. Mensore tries again, and it ends up almost reversing into Mensore, but when Kenoh comes in, he reverses it to Kenoh, and Kenoh instead grabs Endo. Zaza goes to Zaza, strikes Kenoh. Kenoh's immediate response is to hit back. Endo rolls him up, and Team Melball comes out with the win. What a weird but funny way to end the match. And then post-match, Taniguchi and Kenoh just saying no and just leaving poor Mensore in a heap. Team Melball standing strong. I'm loving this combination of Endo, Sasaki, and HAYATA. Obviously, I love this combination. It kind of has that right combination of different styles that allows the team to just work so effortlessly together. So from here, we're going to go into match number 3, which is a tag team match featuring Team 2000X's Masa Kitamiya and Tadasuke, with Yoshitatsu, of course, taking on the Passion RATEL'S Manabu Soya and Daiki Inaba. So Kitamiya getting into the fans' faces. This is his new thing, and I love it because it's again convincing me that I don't need to be quite at ringside, but then also just adding a new layer of just dastardliness to Team 2000X. He ends up grabbing Odashima by the hair when Odashima does try to protect a fan from the tongue lashing from Kitamiya, and tosses him into the post, and again just yelling at the fan I wouldn't have done this if it wasn't for you, kind of thing. So the Jonitsu brothers hitting their signature duo. Brothers? They aren't till later. Jonitsu duo hitting their signature assisted spear and assisted cannonball on Kitamiya, followed by double lariats. The Jonitsu, that's the next match. Bulldog from Kitamiya, but Inaba refuses to go down and stay down. Kitamiya repeatedly then slamming Inaba's head into the ground. Again, this seems to be a new signature for him. It's dastardly. It works really well for the chairman gimmick here. Jonitsu duo hitting some sword back chops and hammer forearms on Kitamiya. That nice sword hammer kind of chopping, thudding motion worked so good for these guys. There was a waist lock into a one-arm backbreaker by Kitamiya. Finish comes with Kitamiya hitting a pile driver, but only getting 2 on Inaba. He then locks on that stranglehold, which is that full Nelson, leg trap full Nelson, submitting Daiki Inaba and putting out the Jonitsu duo. This was a fun match, again, showing the absolute dominance of Team 2000X. It doesn't matter who you team Masa Kitamiya with, he's gonna come out on top. Post-match, Tadasuke grabbing the microphone, introducing Kitamiya as the chairman, and then proceeds to insult the audience, as the team does. And then Kitamiya proclaiming that he is the law in the locker room for pro wrestling Noah. He is the chairman, and I, for one, welcome our new overlord and savior. Team 2000X, they're becoming a problem, and I kind of like it. I love this dastardly bad guy theme, and they're all oddly loyal to each other, but then also not at the same time. It's the strangest yet funnest dynamic. So we're going to move on to match number 4 here, which is a 6-man tag match featuring again Team 2000X, Takashi Sugiura, Daga, and Null, with Yoshitatsu taking on Go Shiozaki, Muhammad Yone, and Hajime Ohara, with Atsushi Kotoge. So Shiozaki and Sugiura starting off this one, and Shiozaki not giving clean breaks on the rope, feeding those knife-edge chops, and then machine gun chops to Sugiura, but Sugiura reverses into a suplex and then tags in Daga. So Daga tosses Shiozaki to the outside and starts kind of fussing with the ref, which allows Sugiura to kind of toss around Shiozaki on the outside, throwing him into the barricade and then over the barricade and then hitting him with chairs. Glorious, glorious chaos at its finest. Null coming in and just immovable to Shiozaki's chops, leveling him with one of his own. Null also hanging on to the ropes and nailing Yone with a big boot followed by a lariat for 2. Daga nails Ohara with a backbreaker lariat combo for 2 as well. Ohara also hitting a pair of tilt-a-whirl backbreakers on Daga. So the finish comes here with Ohara hitting Daga with it looked like a Death Valley backbreaker into the Muy Bien, but you see Tadasuke appear behind him, and the ref also sees him. Tadasuke hits Hajime Ohara with the chair, causing the disqualification, and Team Noah stands tall over Team 2000X in this one. Shiozaki then comes in and lariats the ever-living soul out of Tadasuke, and Yone tosses out Daga, followed by another lariat from Shiozaki to Sugiura, and again, Team Noah stands proud, stands winning. Probably not the way they wanted to, but still, a win is a win. So, from here, we're going to go on to match number 5, which was a match I was excited to see. This is the singles match between Kaito Kiyomiya and the newly signed Harutoki. So, Harutoki really giving it to Kiyomiya. Yes, Kiyomiya. Kiyomiya. Man, those two are going to confuse me a lot. Kiyomiya, and attempting an O'Connor roll, and then drop kicking him to the outside and hitting a plancha. So back in the ring, Kiyomiya glides over Harutoki just effortlessly, and then hitting a running forearm and drop kick, and then effortlessly kipping back up to his feet. He is our ace. Kiyomiya continuing his attack on Harutoki, hitting this fancy flash and jump and elbow drop, a second rope flying forearm smash, and a dragon screw leg whip. Harutoki then hitting the top rope crossbody and then following up with a standing cloverleaf chicken wing drop. I had to ask Andre what that was. He gave me the best description he could. Very, very lucha inspired. I've seen it a lot before. I can't remember the name of it. So afterwards, Kiyomiya hitting a dragon screw followed by the shining lancer, but only gets a 2. So the finish comes after a series of reversals from both men, but Kiyomiya hitting that skywalk elbow from the top rope for the win. So good. So good. Got to really show off his partner. Both these guys going into the N1. I'm excited to see what these guys have to give. This was a really, really awesome back and forth. By the time the end came, I didn't know who was going to pick up that win. And man, this makes me even more excited for the N1 victory. So moving on to match number 6, this is an 8-man tag team match, and this is a no tags required match, and this is going to feature the team of Galeno, Alpha Wolf, Dragonbane, and Super Crazy taking on the team of Luis Monte, Flamita, Bendito, and Calibus. I am so excited for this. I've seen Luis Monte before, did amazing, and he was at that time teaming with Alpha Wolf and Dragon Bane. And of course, we've been seeing Calibus over the last couple of weeks. It's been so fun to watch. Flamita and Bendito are new for me. I believe they were from Dragon Gate. I'm super excited to see where this goes. So let's get into it, you guys. Purple gear, entrance gear, and accented gear for Dragon Bane. My favorite color. Gotta love that. Alpha Wolf immediately trying to feed on everybody. Grabs Bendito, then Galeno, then his own brother Dragonbane. Like, feed the man. Feed him. He's hungry. Monte getting nom-nommed again by Alpha Wolf, but both men are very evenly matched in speed and power, having a really fun and even back and forth to start off this match. Flamita and Dragonbane in, and Flamita hitting a Hurricanrana and landing on his feet just so effortlessly. Really, really cool. Both men hitting springboard backflips, and then Dragonbane hitting a head scissor dropkick combo. Calibus hitting a pair of springboard headbutts on Dragonbane, and then a really impressive barrage of kicks. Bendito with a really super cool corkscrew press on Galeno, and then a head scissors sending Galeno to the outside. Bendito trying to chop with Super Crazy, but he's being like so. Super Crazy's in the corner. He's being held by his team members, but Crazy keeps ducking every time Bendito comes in to do the chop. So he keeps chopping his partners off of the apron instead. And then at one point, Galeno forgot that Super Crazy was on his team. I don't know what was happening. Super Crazy got beat on for just a little bit from the other team before reversing Bendito into Calibus and getting out of dodge. Dragonbane hitting a handspring kick to Bendito and Calibus before Alpha Wolf comes in and assists Bane into his big Rana on Monte. Flamito getting hip tossed by Los Copiadores before they do their little rolling head spring into the stereo drop kicks, followed by Galeno picking up speed and hitting a big body press, followed by the 4-man lucha pose. I don't know how to do it very well. I'm hunched down. I should be sitting straight up, you guys. Come on here. There we go. Okay, where was I? Lucha pose. There we go. Crazy Galeno and Bane running the train on Bendito, but Bendito moves and plants Alpha Wolf, who then gets run in by the rest of the other team, Flamita, Calibus, and Monte. And then, where do we go from there? Okay, then followed by thrust kicks from everyone. Everybody popping off right now. Everyone getting their moves in. There's a lot going on. Moonsault by Bendito. Inverted shooting star press from Calibus. Mante with a torture rack face slam on Bane, who then gets a Firefly 450. Splash from Flamito. Just bodies everywhere. It was glorious chaos at its finest, and I love it. So Alpha Wolf yeeting Dragonbane into the audience with a top rope senton thing. He flew that day, and it was amazing. So finish comes. Galeno hits his Galeno special on Calibus for the big win. Wow, these high speed, high energy matches are just so great, and I did like how the placement of it on the card. It gave the audience a really good kind of flow, emotionally speaking, for the night. Kind of led into the last two matches here and really, really set the energy high. And the next match continued that further. So let's get into it. Match number 7. My heart. Owadasan farewell match, where Owadasan is taking on his teammate, his mentor, I think it was a senpai, Ozawa, in a Team 2000X face-off. Let's get into it, you guys. All the team at ringside, including Null, you can see Null standing in the corner. It was a really, really nice little touch, and at no point in time did any of them get involved. It was just a really, really nice match. So, handshake pin attempt by Owadasan right at the beginning, because that's how we do. That's how we do. Owadasan kicking the rope on re-entry of Ozawa and then choking him with wrist tape, because it doesn't matter who's in the ring. You came to win. He came to win, you guys. So Owadasan backflipping off of Ozawa in the corner, and then a jumping like arm drag on Ozawa from there. At one point, Ozawa turning the tables, though, back on Owadasan, tossing him into the barricades, kicking the ropes on Owadasan on re-entry. Good times. This is what we expect from Ozawa, because Ozawa is that move stealer. So, Ozawa hitting his rolling Death Valley driver into the top rope moonsault, but Owadasan moves, so Ozawa just hits his standing shooting star press. Just 'cause. So talented. Owadasan firing up and refusing to stay down, hitting the drop kick and O'Connor roll, followed by the llama spit with the swinging neck breaker on Ozawa, but only gets 2. Ozawa finding himself in a Boston Crab, but is able to make it to the ropes, but not before Owadasan does drag him back in for a little bit. Ozawa kips up and starts doing his mad run around the ring before running in and backflipping off Owadasan and hitting some kicks before his hurricane kick, llama spit, and a spitting neck breaker, but only gets a 2. I love the almost mocking nature that Ozawa has when he's in his matches. It doesn't matter if he's in with Kenoh, with Kenta, with Galeno, with Owadasan. He's stealing your moves. He is a gentleman but a thief. He is stealing your moves. There's no lick of death from Ozawa, just a hug of death before the drop kick and his Big Ben edge. But he picks up Owadasan, not allowing the pinfall because he's not quite finished. The finish, however, comes with Ozawa setting up for the real Rebel, that beautiful Phoenix Splash, for the win. Oh, it was so good. It was such a great match, and I loved seeing the dynamic between Owadasan and Ozawa going into this match, during this match, and after this match. Knowing that Owadasan is heading to, I believe it was Progress Wrestling. I'll leave a picture up over here of where he's going. I saw there was an official announcement on Twitter. If you are not following Owadasan already, get on there. Follow him, follow where he's going. If you are in the UK and you are able to, I would suggest you go see him. He is an incredible wrestler. You saw Ozawa in the year before. Owadasan is going to be just as phenomenal. I love this team, but I also love how dastardly they are, and I love how dastardly they are, that they have this kind of almost cohesive family kind of feel to them. So, from here, main event of the evening, match number 6, you guys. GHC Heavyweight Championship match. The champion, Kenta, defending against the genius of the arc, Naomichi Marufuji. Let's freaking go. Okay, so we're going to start this match off. Starting the match off slowly. These guys were really feeling each other out, really pacing themselves, not getting into it too quickly. Kind of locking up a lot, rolling around a lot. Kind of nice, slowish kind of start. Marufuji with a cartwheel dropkick on Kenta at one point looked really, really cool. There was one point on the outside, Marufuji did look like he slipped on the ropes trying to maybe do a moonsault or something there. He did follow up, though, taking the feet out from Kenta and smashing his face on the apron. Marufuji grabs the arm and kind of jumps over the barricade and then, like, almost like a DDT kind of style with the arm. The story for Marufuji in this one was that left arm of Kenta, really picking it apart, tying it up in the barricade, and then crushing his hand with the gate. Knife edge chops from Marufuji on the outside and back in the ring until Kenta tosses him into the shoulder first into the ring post. At this point, Kenta starts to work on keeping Marufuji on the ground. We see a lot of kind of like headlock takedowns, keeping him on the ground. When Marufuji gets up, Kenta makes sure to bring him right back down immediately, eventually transitioning into a kind of a different kind of headlock takeover. So he's kind of had him facing down at first, then he reversed it and he was facing upwards. He also got a sleeper choke on him at one point, reversing into a reverse triangle choke, and then an abdominal stretch with a twisting neck breaker in between, and then getting into the headlock. It was a very, very interestingly paced match here. At this point, I've noticed both guys were kind of showing some exhaustion in this. They've been working pretty hard, even though the pace of the match wasn't very quick. I can't imagine, well, actually, I can, having been in some submissions, and the struggle is almost more exhausting than running the ropes. Both of these guys start throwing rapid fire kicks and strikes. Very, very, again, interesting paced match. At one point, Kenta locks on the game over STF, but Marufuji is able to make it to the ropes. On the apron, there's a bit of a struggle where Kenta can't quite get a handle on Marufuji, so he just adjusts to the outside and hits a dream color, which is that DDT to the floor. Kenta hits Marufuji with a high kick, a John Woo kick, and then the double stomp, but only gets a 2. Marufuji tying up Kenta's arm in a painful-looking armbar and then following up with some rapid-fire kicks and hook kicks going in between the legs, up and right. It looked like an Argentine tango. It was phenomenal. Where was I from there? Okay, then hitting him with what I heard with commentary say was a chillin' knee. And following up with that jumping knee to the temple of Kenta. Kenta trying for the GTS, but Marufuji just not giving it to him. He keeps wiggling out. He does get another attempt, but only gets a 2. Kenta hits the Psycho knee, but again, only a 2. Marufuji hits the Emerald Explosion, but only gets a 2. Strikes back and forth as Kenta rocks Marufuji and follows up with 3 buzzsaw kicks, but Marufuji is able to escape the ring. Finish comes. Kenta, struggling to do the GTS, finally gets him. Drops Marufuji with a palm strike, another GTS. Kenta retains the GHC Heavyweight Championship. Post-match, Kenta offers the handshake, says he has even more to show the fans and that he will do better next time. This was an interesting match in that this wasn't what I was used to with either guy. And that being said, I also know that these two have a very extensive history, but one-on-one, I've seen only clips of their past matches. I've never seen a full match of either one of these guys. So for me, this was kind of like, I was told that a lot of people expected better. I personally felt that this was a pretty decent match. It wasn't my match of the night. The match beforehand was, but it was still a really, really good match. And I personally felt that it showed that not only can Naomichi Marufuji still be in contention for the GHC title, but that Kenta is going to be a very dominant and very long-standing champion going forward. So, that brings us to the end of this episode, you guys. I did really good. I got that out in half an hour. I thought I was going to be talking a lot more. But what did you guys think? Did you guys get a chance to take in this show? What did you guys think of Kenta versus Marufuji? Did you guys expect different? Did you guys have a different expectation of it? I was really happy with the pace. And considering, the extensive history that these guys have both with each other and in the company, thought it was a really, really good main event. I loved the send off between Owadasan and Ozawa. I look forward to Owadasan coming back in probably a year or so, seeing what the landscape of Team 2000X is when he gets back. Will Ozawa still be there? I guess we'll have to wait and see. What did you guys think of that extremely amazing Lucha Libre match? Oh my god. Give me more. Give me more, give me more, give me more. I may have to start checking out Dragon Gate. May have to start checking that out. Looks like some really, really cool characters. Bendito had these really cool shoulder things on his costume, as well as he's 6'3". That's a big lucha. And then on top of that, you have Flamita, Luis Mante. It was such a fun match. I would love to see these guys back in a Noah ring very, very soon. So, again, guys, that brings us to the end of the show. I hope you enjoyed it. I know I did. And on your way out, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to OLE, and turn on those notifications to be alerted every time we drop a new video. If you're wanting to catch some pro wrestling Noah yourself, I will leave the link for Wrestle Universe in the description box below. It is 1,298 yen, or approximately 13 Canadian. It's an amazing price to get access to not only pro wrestling Noah, but Marigold Wrestling, DDT, Tokyo Joshi Pro, and many, many more. So go ahead and check that out. You can also I will also leave a link to Pro Wrestling Noah's other YouTube channel down below, where you can get even more content like spicy noodle contests, drinking games, all kinds of fun things. It's all in Japanese, but you don't need to understand what they're saying when they're eating spicy noodles. You just need to know pain. Um, What else? What else? If you're wanting a daily dose of Melball, you can follow me on the X thing at Collins Melball. You can follow me on everything else: Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Mastodon, and Blue Sky at Melball Collins. I think that's it, you guys. That all being said, I am your Melball. Matinee. Mwah!